3, 2, 1. Top to the morning, all of you. My name is Marcus, and today I'm having a nice cup of tea. You don't see tea today, but anyway, that's the same. We had chocolate right before. And I'm with Mr. Mickaël Bosco, who's the director of Asip School, engineering school in Aix-en-Provence. And we're going to talk about engineering and everything. Can you present yourself a bit?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Mickaël Bosco. I am now the director of the campus Aix-en-Provence of the engineering school Asip. And before that, I got a PhD in fund mechanics, more about tsunamis. And I'm kind of like a wanderlust guy, so I love to travel and to speak English also.
Oh, that's Boston.
Yeah.
Absolutely Boston. Excellent. Yeah. And your level in English is right.
Yeah.
Like, it's very correct.
Oh, thank you.
No, because you told me, I don't speak English, blah, blah, blah. But actually, no, you do.
Yeah, because of a lot of linguistic school experiment, like long-term stay in the USA when I was younger.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Because so you have a PhD in France or in the US?
Yeah, I got a PhD between France and the USA. But during my PhD, I've done some like internships and also some like 3-month stay in UCLA in California, but also a lot of internship in China and Tibet.
Great.
So
China too.
yeah,
and Tibet too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. In China, where did you go in China?
I was in Beijing.
In Beijing. Okay.
But it was like very difficult at that time because I was the only one speaking English, and all the other ones were like all these Chinese speakers.
Yes.
And I was like, sometimes like I was alone, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like in another country, nobody speak English, nobody speak French, and I was like, difficult.
That's very difficult. I mean, with all the characters and everything, like the
yeah,
Hanzi,
of course.
Did you learn Chinese a bit?
No. And I remember that once I was in the subway and I was like totally lost. I need to go out from one station, but I know I had the station written here, and it was impossible to see which one.
Of course. And like, even if you want to pronounce the stuff, it's not possible because you don't know how it's like.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. So it was like
terrible.
Very difficult.
We're taking a bit of advance here because actually we're going to talk about how difficult it could be for engineers who are not speaking languages.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the story, definitely.
Okay.
So for you, why is it important actually to these international sites?
I would say because our like international cooperation between people and even nations is super important, like for, let's say, 3 reasons. The first one, France belongs to Europe and even to the world. And regarding that, we need to be able to be a part of like international projects. Let's take the example of climate change, who has become unfortunately famous for about more than 3 decades. And thanks to international work, we're able to try to find a solution. Also, because we can say that progress works in our society when we are all in this together. That means like if we want to find, for example, to find a solution to, let's say, take the thing of COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
At that time, it was impossible for students to go to school. Yeah. And thanks to international cooperation, we were able to transform the old-fashioned and the traditional way of learning into a virtually new one. And also, thanks to international cooperation, we were able to find a cure at that time. And I would say the last thing is like personally, I love traveling. I'm like a wanderlust guy. And I remember one very famous quote from Hans Christian Andersen, which is to travel is to live. And for my part is my motto.
Yeah.
Is my motto. And I think people should take the experience to travel, to see different things.
Yeah. And
what about you?
For me, like speaking to talking with like a giga chat polyglot, so so that's the stuff.
Tell me more about you. What about like the language you speak?
So the thing is, like, I've been living in like a polyglot family, so for me it was easier for sure. My parents taught me nothing, so I had to let's say learn by myself how to speak. I've been living in Ireland. At school I was in Ireland. Then I've been to China too because I moved around China. I've been wandering a bit. I was in Beijing, I was in Shanghai, I was in Ohot in Mongolia. I was in the center of the country, so I could speak Chinese with the people. And actually I've been like adding a new language each time for each travel. Each time I've been like living in one place for more than 1 month. I've been like adding the language. Norway, for example, 1 year in Norway. I had some good links with Iceland at a time, so I can speak Icelandic. Even even if it's like a very difficult language and no one is using it actually. But apart from Icelanders, you know,
Okay, yeah.
and I. But for the rest, yes, that's the thing. For me, that's the basics, you know.
Okay, I understand.
I always tell my students as an English teacher and even as a language teacher, you guys have 76 millions of French people in France.
Yeah.
Am I correct? Yeah. So you have 76 million people to meet only. Yes.
Of course.
While we have something like way more than 76 millions. We are like, we're a lot. So let's multiply the possibilities. Okay. That's the thing. So for me, it's like so important. Okay. That's why I'm happy to be like intervening here at Asip. As a teacher at Asip, because like I can like offer this, you know, this pleasure to the students, which is very important. Talking about the students, why is it so important in the career of an engineer?
Oh, I would say that actually, like a lot of students and even engineers have to be able to speak English because, first of all, I would say that a lot of enterprises and companies are like going to be developed in an international scale. And so students and engineers have to be able to work with other colleagues, with, for example, non-French spoken engineers. And it's important to say that more 10% of them are like going to be and to have an international career. And also more than 60%, I think, of them are like have to speak with non-French spoken colleagues like every day. And what I know is that the demand of English spoken engineers is skyrocketed. By the time, because they can create links between countries, but also to participate like to economic growth and try to solve also global challenges. So a lot of importance.
Absolutely, that's absolutely right. What you say at the moment, like it's so important being able to speak languages, and not only English actually.
I know
English is super important, but though you have other languages, I used to say like normally when you can speak English, Chinese, Spanish, and maybe Arabic.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the king of the bloody world.
Also,
so, that's the thing. You can talk with anyone, so that's so important. Though,
that's why a lot of engineering school are like having like a big place to their international dimension.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's so important, and that's why you guys are. If I remember, you have double diplomas or this kind of things.
Actually, our school, so Asip, is taking a very big importance in the international dimension because our engineering school, we have like 2 diplomas. The first one is to be engineer in the computer science field, and the other one is in environment. And we propose also like a bachelor, so a 3 years stay in our school. But if we concentrate about the engineering school, so we have the first 2 years, what we can be done in the French or with the English program. And in this English program, we have like more than 60% of courses that are actually in English. We have also the ability to know and to learn a new and third foreign language, for example, Chinese, but also Japanese or Italian. And also 2 first long-term stay abroad. The first one is at the end of the first year. It's the what we call like the short program. So it's animation between 2 to 5 weeks in foreign countries, and the other one is to pass like almost a semester in North America. So that's only for the first 2 years with this English program. We have after the students have to take like the 3 last years, and during these 3 last years they have to do almost 1 internship abroad.
All right.
And they have the ability, and they have to do 2 semesters abroad. The first one is in the third year, where they have to do like a semester in an English spoken country, and the other one is during the last year in a German or Spanish or Italian spoken country. Excellent. So a lot of things to do. And for the ones who want to go further in the like kind of like to become international, they have also in some countries like possibility to have an international engineering diploma.
All right.
And we have a partnership with more than 100 universities abroad.
Excellent.
So a lot of possibilities for students who want to have international career.
Yes, definitely. I heard some of them were like in Northern Europe.
Yeah.
For some of them, so English is mandatory.
Of course.
For those.
We have Finland, Norway, Sweden, and like lots of possibilities.
It's perfect. Sweden and Norway are perfect to learn English because they speak very good English, though.
Oh yeah, of course.
Finland, it depends.
Of course.
But like Norway, Sweden are generally very good. And also, when you can speak English, Norwegian and Swedish are super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is important to know that, for example, in France, to become an engineer, so you have to get a diploma from an engineering school, which is recognized by the CTA label. And one of the conditions is to take, and I hope to pass the TOEIC exam. With a minimum score of 800 for our school, but that depends. But you have to have an equivalence to the B2 score.
Okay. Okay. Which is like B2 score is very alright. I mean, to work abroad, it's. Yeah, I would even say B1 is maybe there is a lack of knowledge in B1, but B2 is normally suitable enough to work abroad. So yes, definitely. Okay, perfect. So this is what you have to do to become an engineer.
Yeah,
because
of course.
let's remind this to a lot of people. Being an engineer is a title. This is not a diploma. This is a title you have. So this is quite something, and being able to have it international. That's so important. And so, according to you, why would it be so important to be, let's say, to be taught in terms of multicultural aspect, international access?
For engineers?
For engineers, yes. Of course.
I would say that given that industries are experiencing worldwide, it's important for students to be able to be a part of like a multi-professional and multicultural world because they have to be able to speak with like a lot of colleagues. And I know that the students and engineers who are able to do that are like the ice of the cake. They have access to better salary and can evolve in their environment like very easily. And also, I really think, and I firmly believe that it's important to speak English in a lot of careers, such as, let's say, for doctors, scientists, but also in the architect, broker, estate agent, fashion designer.
Yeah.
But it's even more important in engineering industry regarding that we have a lot of companies, a lot of industries, and they need to speak English, all the languages, because we belong to the world and we have to be able to work with everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And I would even like add something to what you just said, actually. I mean, all the sources, all the resources, every single documentation, when you guys are coding Python, in Rust, in JS, in whatever language, everything is in English. I mean, that's logical, yeah? So you guys have to do it. If you don't do, well, you're missing the train.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, which is like a shame, though. So that's. I always heard my father saying when I was a kid, "Hey, Marcus, the world is not going to wait for you. The world is going to go super fast, and if you don't speak English," it was like 20 years ago. He was telling me, "Hey, we already missed the train. So you have to go fast, right?"
Yeah, that's totally true.
Now the youngsters, according to me, right? For me, the youngsters who don't speak English in 2024.
That will be difficult.
That will be difficult.
Yeah.
And we, in France, we used to, think we're still the kings of the world with French, but actually no one wants to speak French anymore. It's better to speak English. It's easier for everyone. Yeah.
And that's why I really think that a lot of engineering school are like taking like the big part to the international dimensions, because when you go abroad, for example, when I was a student, so as I told you, I went for internship in California, but also like in other parts, such as in Tibet. And I remember that during that time, like the fact that I will be able to travel and to work and to study with a different culture in a different country, I have developed some soft skills. And I really think that soft skills and attitudes are like the big winners of such a diploma.
So first, I think you're very right on that point. And also, we always imagine engineers being, a bit geeky on their side, doing their stuff, and that's all. But more and more in business, those engineers, developers, and everyone are on the foreground of the battle.
Yeah.
Meaning that we ask them nowadays to present their ideas, to present their discoveries, their findings, and everything directly to the clients of the companies, directly to some other companies, but also to investors.
Of course.
So being able to first know how to speak in public and being able to be fluent in English, to do it in English, to speak in public in English.
That's the secret of success.
That's the secret of success. Like you have this moment, you have no limits.
Yeah.
It's excellent. Okay, perfect. So that's why. That's the thing. But so Mickaël, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of youngsters, young engineers, whether it's at Asip or some other people contacting me personally, and they ask something quite, for me, something strange question, but though, they're saying, Marcus, I'm not sure that we're going to speak very often, or as often as what you're saying, English in our career. What do you think?
Oh, I really think, and I firmly believe that engineers, that depends also that in the companies they're working in, but they have to be able to work, for example, in some clients, for example, in English, but also in other languages. And as we know, English is, I think, is the most popular language in the world. So they have to be able to work like as fluent as possible in that way.
For sure. Because some engineers I have are like, they have their career, behind them, I would say. They're quite old, and they're telling me, Marcus, my only regret is I have to learn English at 50 years old while I'm almost retired.
And that will develop a job.
Yes. And they're telling me I've been saying no to a very nice city, Singapore, to Beijing, to a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
And at the end, because they thought they had time, though, they don't have anymore.
Okay,
of course. This time, because now they're retired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they have to enjoy their time and and go traveling. And I remember, for example, when I have my parents, they want to go, for example, to Greece this summer, and to me, oh Mickaël, I don't know how to speak English. How can I do? I say, hey, you have to do your best.
Yes, definitely. And sometimes, even if you're afraid of speaking English, though, it's not a very big deal. Because
of course.
Here in France, we are always expecting the perfection, the perfection of the services, the perfection of everything, though.
Yeah.
We're expecting this. And we hope, in return, that the people are expecting this from us. And so we are putting so much pressure on our shoulders that at the end, we feel paralyzed. Yes, we're feeling paralyzed. We don't even want to speak in English. So, but actually, it's important to make mistakes, and to have fun while doing them. So that's why, let's say that young engineers have to move their asses a bit.
Yeah,
if I may say.
Agree. Agree.
Absolutely. Because these people have bloody brains. I mean, these are brains on legs. Definitely. I mean, you guys are cool as fuck. So I would say, if I may say, that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's true shit, though. So why not being international? That's the story.
Yeah, I think that's the end of the story. And to put it in a nutshell, I would say that students have to take the time to learn English and their other languages in order to have all the possibilities at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Good. So if you had to say a last thing to an engineer, let's imagine I'm an engineer now, and you want to convince me that I should learn English for my international career, what would you say to this young engineer?
I would say that actually you should learn English and other languages in order to be first open-minded, in order to have and to be able to work in a different culture and different countries, but also for yourself, because you will have the ability to travel the world and to see a lot of cultures, a lot of things, a lot of wonders. Yes. And thanks to that, English is your best friend.
Yeah, definitely. I think you say it all, actually. So if we had to to reflect about this a bit deeper, or even to conclude, actually, the secret of the bloody world are between your hands at the moment that you decide they are. Yes. So if you want to go abroad and create something magnificent, something marvelous, it must be done in French if you like, but also in English. Yeah. Let's not get limited.
Of course.
So that's the thing.
Yeah. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you so much, Mickaël. And so we'll be meeting.
Yeah, and see you next time.
Definitely see you next time. Hi chaps.
Bye.
See you around.